Hi everyone, we're going to be continuing our next video on the fourth unit in which we were looking into the introduction of IoT sensors. We were now looking into the basic components that are being used on IoT devices. Okay, so to make an IoT, you need some devices and the basic device, one of them is going to be the gateways. So gateways are responsible for routing the process data and send it to proper locations for its data proper utilization. Okay. So you have some data that is being taken by your microcontroller and you need to route them over the internet. So these process data need to be routed to the corresponding locations correctly. And who's going to take care of that is going to be the gateways. Okay. In other words, we can say that gateway helps in to and fro communication of the data. So it helps in transmitting and receiving of the data. It provides network connectivity to the data, so it means you with this particular gateway you can form LAN, WAN, or whatever type of network you want, and that network connectivity is essential for any IoT system to communicate. Okay, so without this particular gateway, whatever data you have, you will not be able to communicate it over the internet. So to different locations. Okay, so this gateway plays a vital role in the transfer of information that could be receiving or transmitting information. The LAN, WAN, PAN, etc. are examples of network gateways. Okay, so this gateways is not just a particular network architecture based, it can be of LAN, WAN, or PAN based architectures. So next one is the processors. Processors are the brain of the IoT system. So they play the vital role. Even if you have all these communication systems or sensors, everything you have with you, you need the brain. You need to know to do what at what particular time. Okay. So the main function of it is to process the data captured by the sensors. So it processes the data that is captured by the sensors and process them so that the to extract the valuable data from the enormous amount of raw data collected. So its main role over there is to collect the required data. You will be having enormous number of data that can be available from sensors. Which sensor data, which particular time, or which value from the sensor, all of these are being taken care by this particular processor over here. In a word, you can say that this gives intelligence to the particular data. It gives some meaning to the data that is coming to us. Okay, so that processor, while processing it, it gives some meaning to the data that is available there. Processors mostly work on real-time basis and can be easily controlled by applications. So they work on a real-time basis. They do not work on pre-programmed applications. They work on a real-time basis and can be easily controlled by different applications that you want. And the apps are nothing but the programs that you build. And through those apps, you can control which particular device to control or what particular time and so on. Okay. So these are also responsible for the securing of data. Okay, so encryption, decryption, all of these that we talk over here. How can you secure your particular data? One person, if you send the data, raw data over some place, and if someone is able to tap that particular data, what will happen? He will get the entire information that you have sent or received, that you are yet to receive. So this is unethical. So how are you going to secure your data? You can only secure your data with the help of encryption and decryption algorithms. Okay, so that encryption and decryption programs are also to be specified into your processor in the form of programs over there. So that is what is taking care of that. What is that? The processor. The embedded hardware devices, the microcontroller, are the ones that process the data because they have processors attached to it. Okay, so the embedded hardware devices like a microcontroller, how are they able to do this? They are able to do this because the microcontroller and all they have a processor inside them. Okay, so this is what we saw in the first unit itself. What is the difference between a microprocessor and microcontroller? The main thing is that the microcontroller itself has a microprocessor inside it. Okay, along with the IO devices and the other RAM memories. So next, what are the applications? So applications form another end of an IoT system. Applications are essential for proper utilization of all data collected. So depending on the data that is being collected, you can categorize them depending on the applications that can be used to. All data cannot be used in the same applications. Similarly, one specific data cannot be used for all any specific application only. Okay, it can be used for different applications. So this these cloud-based applications which are responsible for rendering the effective meaning of the data collected. So what do you mean by the cloud-based application, which means that anyone can access or anywhere you can access your particular data. So it is giving more effective meaning to the data collected. If the particular data collected from a particular place is available only to that particular place or person, the data is not much meaningful. Okay, because that place only knows what is happening out there, or that person only knows what is happening out there. If the data is available on the cloud, what does it mean? Anyone can access that particular data. Any authenticated person can access that particular data, which means that the application of that particular data keeps on increasing. Uh, the, the valuability of that particular data keeps on increasing. Okay. So applications are controlled by users and are a delivery point of particular services. So these applications are the ones that play the vital role over there. Okay. So examples of applications are home automation apps, security systems, industrial control hub, and so on. Okay. So transport and logistics, here fleet management and goods tracking play a vital role over there. What is happening? You order a particular product on, and you need to track where your particular device is or where your particular package is. Then what will you do over there at that particular time? You will have to track it. How will you track it? They have a unique tracking ID for that. With that particular tracking ID, you will not be able to find it over the GPS. Please remember, you may be aware of that. You will know to which particular nearest hub it is reached. Okay, from the source point to your particular destination where you are or where you are specified, you will know where the particular product is depending upon where it is being scanned. Okay, so that particular place, if it was being scanned and you did not know where the product is, it is waste. Okay, so that is what this data is now becoming more useful. What data? The cloud-based data. Next is utilities. So in smart metering, smart grid management, in which if any fault is occurring at any place of an electrical grid, you will be able to know it over the particular usage of Internet of Things. So from a distant location itself, you will be able to track that, okay, there has been a particular error in this particular device over here, and so on. Next one is smart cities in parking sensors, wastewater management, and so on. So these particular parking sensors, so you are going into a particular building. When you are going into a particular building, with the help of Internet of Things only, you will be able to know whether the particular parking slots are free. Okay, so when the parking slots are free in a particular location, you will be able to understand, okay, I can go and park my vehicle over there. If the parking slots are full, you will be able, you should look for alternate locations. So you are getting options for that. So that is what. Similarly, wastewater management. Is the wastewater flowing properly? Similarly, the end point of that wastewater, is that getting full or not? All these. If it is getting full, what is the alternate way for draining them? All these are to be taken care in this particular smart cities, smart building. So in a particular building, smoke detector and home automations come into picture. So in a particular building, they are in every room, they will have a smoke detector available. So if one particular room is having a smoke detector, how will it be reached to all the people in a particular building with the help of IoT? So data has to be transmitted to all the people. How is it done? And what is the advantage? If the particular smoke detector is able to detect smoke in the particular room and it informs only that particular person, a particular person in the other end of the particular building will not be able to know smoke is there is an alarm going on. Okay, so that is the drawback over here. So you need to communicate this information from one place to another using this particular IoT. Okay. So consumers, so wearables, kids, senior trackers, all of these through your gadgets, you will be able to transmit information, your heart rate or whatever. And so these particular information of kids or the person in which particular location is available, or if there is a particular female in your particular home. You need to tag where they are they safe. All these particular things can be with respect to consumers in their wearables, in their gadgets available. Next one is industrial process monitoring, control, maintenance monitoring. So you need to know how many products are being manufactured, how many are being processed, how many are being sent for marketing. So all these particular data are required on the whole. And when you are having a big industry with you and you are having n number of industries at a particular under one particular head, how will you monitor them? You need an Internet of Things here. You need to know that okay, from this particular industrial industry, I'm able to manufacture this and this many products at this much time. And on a particular day, if you are finding that the number of products are less, you should, you will get the raw data and you will be able to analyze that and you will go and to look into what is the specific reason for that. Okay. So these are its application in industries. Next one is application in environment. So food monitoring alerts, environmental monitoring, temperature in a particular place, humidity in a particular place. If, for example, you are in a place like a firework manufacturing company and you are sensing that the humidity is going to increase over there, what will happen? Problem arises. The fireworks that are being manufactured over there is going to be waste. Okay, because humidity comes into picture. When humidity gets mixed with your particular water particles get mixed into your particular raw material of the cracker, what happens over there? It will not work properly. Okay, so this is a problem that will appear when the particular person, your market will go down when he finds that your brand of crackers are not working properly. Okay, so this is like one example. Then similarly, chances of rain that is occurring, and when one particular crop you have put into your field, and too much of water is dangerous, and suddenly you see that on the internet they have posted, you get that particular data that it is going to rain. Okay, so you will take alternate measures for that rather than not knowing any information, getting to know information and doing alternate solutions. That is what you are going to do. Prevention is better than cure. Okay. So those are the things that you'll be taking care with respect to the environment. And agriculture, climate agriculture monitoring, livestock tracking. So livestock in the sense you have cattle, you have animals that are on the farm. You need to monitor how are they doing, what is the pulse rate, are they alive or not? Because due to the available of due to animals being killed by other animals that consume them as food. So you can you should be able to monitor them when there are large number of cattle available. Okay. And suddenly, if you have a few number and when you are during the evening time when you are collecting those animals into your farm and you see that one or two is not available there, you need to track them. How are you going to track them? With the available sensors. So that is when GPS comes into picture and you will be able to find, okay, my this particular animal has gone astray, and you send people or you go after that particular animal to make sure it is safe and sound. So all these things are the ones that you will be using in these particular applications. Okay. So in this particular video, what are the things that we saw about? We saw about the different what is a particular gateway, what is its application over there. We saw about the processor, what is its application in not only for processing the data but also in encrypting and decrypting the particular data for safe way of communications. And similarly, you were also looking into the different applications of IoT. Okay. So the applications of IoT vary from region to region. So they have a vast domain of applications of this particular IoT, and that is what we talking about. So we will continue with this in the next particular.